Hello, Wendy.
Hello, Sarah.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. You seem pretty
Feeling,
confident in that answer.
yeah, I've been feeling good. I'm not sure why. Nothing has shifted in the world at large or even my life for that matter, but something has shifted inside of
Okay.
me that I feel more able to live with it, you know?
All right. Adjusting, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel as though my this is hard to explain. I feel as though
Like
my,
everything on our show, it's easy to explain.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. It's very curious. No, I feel as though my being in this world is shifting, as though I'm just taking it so not seriously what the prescribed reality is, and I'm really allowing myself to just be in the reality that I know in my heart is my soul's reality. Like I don't care anymore almost, you know? Like it's gotten
Okay.
so preposterous and so ridiculous that it's like whatever, you know? That's fine.
All right. So did you have to work towards that, or did you wake up one day and you're like, ah, fuck it?
Um, both, you know.
Okay.
I mean, my whole life has been working towards that, I think. You know,
Yeah.
like what
Yeah.
is this reality? And it's like if I was to envision it, I feel as though this reality is like becoming much more transparent, and beyond that is perhaps I'm having a schizophrenic breakdown. You can tell me if that's true or not. Beyond that is kind of this vaporous, beautiful reality that I feel like I'm having more and more contact with. It's very odd.
Well, please keep me posted.
Yeah, they locked Sarah up. She's no longer on our podcast.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
It
Yeah.
sounds great, Sarah. It sounds lovely. No, it does sound cool. I mean, who knows? I think so many things are shifting right now.
Exactly.
I think maybe what we thought was reality is not quite what it is.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
I know how to say it.
what?
That the matrix is falling apart, right? And it's as though the screen is not quite right anymore, and I'm because of that I can see the screen behind it, the reality behind.
Ah,
Does that make more sense?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, conceptually it makes sense. What was I going to say? That there's a lot of people talking about this sort of reality shifting time that we're experiencing.
Yeah.
And I always kind of considered it an internal shifting.
Right. So have I, except it's starting to be more than that in my
Okay,
experience.
right.
Yeah,
So in your
exactly.
physical reality, you're
Yeah, in my
also experiencing it?
yes, yes.
Okay. How
In a
how are
very
you?
subtle way, you
Okay.
know?
Well, yeah, I mean, I could probably say somewhat similar stuff around that. I mean, I feel like I'm changing. I feel like but I've ascribed it to very personal because I'm doing all this work on like my clairvoyant training, and like I'm just seeing more and more and more stuff.
Exactly.
And I'm working with a new helper, the
Yeah,
Falcon, and I think that is helping me to
yeah.
see things with a lot more clarity. But it's still in process, so I'm not quite sure where it's all going to land and how it's
Well,
going to
yeah,
look.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's still in process. It's not landed, you know, so it's like just an observation. So it's the same thing you're talking about. And when you say, are you working towards that? Yeah, I mean, we've been working towards that our whole lives, right?
Right. But I was referring more to the world is in this shitty, weird place. And so I'm going to intentionally try to shift away from focusing on that. That's what I meant by working on it. I didn't know if that's what you meant.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like I'm working on it every day of my life, right? I mean,
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
I journey every day, I question every day, I try and understand every day, not from the traditional perspectives, but from different non-ordinary reality perspectives. And
And
so,
it's paying off.
well, either that or I'm having a schizophrenic
Yeah.
breakdown and they're going to lock me up. We're not sure which it is yet. But I'm joking, of course. I don't.
Yeah. You seem pretty high functioning.
Yeah, pretty high functioning. It's not always been the case, but nevertheless. So what are we talking about today?
Well, speaking of reality, I forgot to tell you this. In my reality, maybe it's the same reality as yours, I don't know. But I just found out a couple of weeks ago that my book was the gold recipient of the best visionary fiction book of the year
Wow.
for COVR, the Coalition for Visionary Resources.
I didn't even know such a thing existed.
Yeah, it's the mind, body, spirit. They've been around for like 30 years, and they have this award thing every year for lots of not just books, but for lots of different products like tarot cards and music and podcasts and all kinds of stuff.
Wow, how cool.
Yeah, no, I'm thrilled.
Congratulations.
Yay, thanks. Yeah,
That's very exciting. So does
yeah.
that have a deeper meaning in what will happen to your book? Will it be more,
Well, who knows? I don't know. I've never won an award for my writing before, so it just feels nice to be recognized, especially I was surprised that the board and all the members that participated in voting on it, that they were cool with it because it's a little edgy
yeah.
and there's some curse words in it. And but yeah, I was thrilled about that. And I guess it potentially maybe the more spiritual bookstores and stuff like that will
Oh, this is
look to
very,
their findings to maybe put the finalists up on their bookshelves.
this is so exciting.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so pretty stoked about that. So yeah, we were thinking about sharing some of our more profound experiences we've had, whether it's shamanically or just spiritually in general. Have you had any pivotal experiences that just sort of shifted everything for you?
Yeah, definitely. So in thinking about this, what I came up with is that, or what I focused in on, is that I think since I began studying shamanism, before that as well, but specifically since then, I consider there to have been like daily is an experience of somewhat interesting, profound, on this spectrum. Some things are more interesting than others. But as I work with clients, the fact that when we're journeying, we have the same journey in different packaging, that like each day I feel the profound qualities of these experiences. Like I think, how lucky am I that I get to live a life that has these constantly interesting things going on, working with other people or working on myself, my own healing, all these things. But then the part where I was thinking, what's the difference between those daily experiences and events, is what I have found to be really interesting and profound is when ordinary reality and non-ordinary reality intersect in a way where you're having like a physical experience. You can call it experiencing phenomena, which I have not really been interested to like I don't long ago I made it my position that I did not want phenomena. Like, I don't want books falling off the shelves. I don't want like ghosties in my
Oh,
home.
okay, that's what you meant. I wasn't sure what you meant. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I don't want that stuff. I'm not interested. I don't do depossession work. I don't that end of the pool is not for me. But I have had experiences where phenomena has been invited and happened. Mostly when I was doing my 3-year program training, there were a couple of things that happened there that were just undeniably otherworldly, that had come into this physical experience, not just like third eye experience, visioning, etc., but physically happening. Is that
Okay.
is that what we're talking about? Where things
Yeah, well, just
like,
something that just, it could be whatever. It can be,
yeah,
to me, it could be whatever is, I mean, it's so personal and
yeah,
intimate that
yeah, yeah,
something that just gets your attention.
yeah.
And I imagine it's usually a first experience of something.
Well, maybe that's why it happened so profoundly because when I was doing my 3-year program training, I mean, we were always like going deeper and deeper and deeper into things, and because you're working in a group, there's more power to it. There were 48 people in my program, and everybody's working towards this understanding or vision, or I mean, it's personal, but it's also collective, and
Right, right.
I think there was great power in that. And I think I mentioned in one of our podcasts one of the experiences. Did I talk about when
In the dark.
in the dark? Yeah,
Yes, I do remember that.
yeah. That was one of the experiences where it was pitch, pitch, pitch black. All light was eliminated from the space, and massive drumming was going on, and things were just flying around the room. And
Was
like,
everyone drumming or just
no, just 3 people were drumming,
okay, so
really
you had,
fast and really loud.
okay, so you were free to just have your experience. You didn't have
Just
to
free to
focus on
sit there.
drumming. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought, oh, nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to see stuff. And what we were inviting was the spirit world to be present to us in that experience. And I to this minute it was mind-boggling. It was just like things were not only, it wasn't only visual, it was like they were touching me. There was like my hair would fly with some kind of, it was just wild, and these white beings that were just like zooming around the room. And this went on for like 15 minutes,
That's
and
crazy.
it was
In
crazy
in the best way possible.
in the best way. Yeah. Yeah, not in the schizophrenic way.
No, no, no. Yeah, not that.
No, it was so profound and so exciting. And how about, I have one other to describe
Well,
to you.
did your colleagues also experience similar
No.
ex okay, so it was
Some did, some didn't. Some had other experiences. It did seem to be very personally donated to your experience.
okay, all right. I was just curious.
That's a good question. But some people saw nothing.
Okay.
And
That's interesting too, right?
yeah, it's super interesting. And we did it again another time, which I also mentioned in the other podcast. Like maybe a month later, we did it again. And I was so excited, like going to see, nothing. Nothing.
That's so, yeah, especially when you're all geared up
All
to,
jazzed for
I'm
it.
ready
Yeah.
now. Bring it.
Bring it. Yeah. And of course, that's exactly when there's no bringing of it.
Yeah, which probably ties into our manifestation conversation, right? The more you want something, the harder it is to manifest it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the more,
That beginner's mind, too. It seems like when you first do something, you're more apt to have a
yeah.
really cool experience
Yeah.
versus the
Yeah.
second time,
Yeah.
third time.
Yeah.
I found that. I found that with a lot of people when I'm teaching them how to journey, too. Like they usually have a really cool experience the first time, and then the second time they're trying too hard
Oh,
to
interesting.
recapture the first experience. Not
Yeah.
everyone, but I've seen that phenomenon happen over
Yeah.
the years.
Yeah. 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 So I had another experience also, but why don't you share what you've had before we,
Before we move on to your second one?
yes, before I dominate the whole conversation.
No, you dominate away. I'm usually the one talking a lot, it seems. Well, this one was one of those life-changing ones for me, this experience. We talked about our initial experiences,
Yeah,
which definitely
yeah.
that was just such a weird, odd experience. I didn't even know what to do with it. And it did change my life profoundly, but I didn't know it was actually the source of what was causing the change. So that
Right, right.
this one was immediate, where kind of like what you're talking about with your in the dark experience. It was also in my training, earlier in my training too, with Hank and with Jill. And this particular journey exercise, it was suggested that we go to the upper world, to the Hall of Records, which I
Yeah,
guess a lot of people would call the Akashic
the
Records,
Akashic records, yeah.
and ask to see a librarian, and then ask them to take you to see your life book.
Wow.
And so I perceived it as this, of course, this massive building with lots of steps leading up to the front entryway, and which is interesting because you don't have feet or legs in the dream time. So why would you need steps? You kind of just float. Just thought I'd say that.
It's an interesting question.
Well, I think because I was perceiving it the way my human mind needed to perceive it. Like I had this idea of a library, so I perceived a library, literally. And the interior, there's this massive lobby with a huge dome ceiling, and there are these very specific sort of spirits roaming around that were violet colored. And I got one's attention, and she kind of had a female presence and also seemed annoyed that I was there. Like, you're not supposed to be here. I'm busy. That's probably just me projecting. Anyway,
Or
so
not.
it kind of gave me like, I'll be right with you.
Take a
And
number.
yeah, and like maybe I wasn't following protocol or whatever. And so she takes me down this corridor. There's all glass on one side, and there's this lovely courtyard, and there's different sort of spirit beings out there kind of conversing with one another, communicating in some way. And then on the right side are doors. And I think we go down to the third door on the right, and we go inside, and it's this really dark room. It's dimly lighted, and there's super tall ceilings, and there are these bookshelves that go all the way up to the ceiling, and they're filled with these huge tomes all the way. And I was advised to stay right there by the table that was by the door. There's a table there, and it was all dark wood. Everything was dark wood. The walls, the bookcases, the table. And she went back into the stacks and brought out my life book, placed it on the table.
So it's this life we're talking about.
Well,
Oh,
I didn't
more
know. I asked for my life book. I didn't know what that meant. I assumed it was this life. Yeah. And so she left, and it was extremely thick. And there was a little red ribbon, like almost towards the end, like more than three-quarters of the way to the bottom. And of course, I'm there with a spirit helper, right? Of course, I'm going to open it right to where the ribbon is.
one would
And
think.
yeah, and it's an image of me looking at my life book.
That's wild.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. And then the image pops off the page and becomes a hologram, like three-dimensional. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And so I now have the understanding. I forgot to say, too, that the cover it was kind of like this leather, and it had all this etching in it. And I felt like there was all this information in the etching. And that if you traced along the etching, that it would reveal some information, but I didn't do that.
Ever?
I haven't. No, I haven't done that.
Huh.
I don't know. I don't know what that information is. I never investigated it. Maybe I should. I was just remembering that right now. So I knew I couldn't go forward. past that moment. That
Oh,
those
interesting.
pages might be
Oh,
blank,
oh,
or that it just wasn't for me to do at that moment.
oh, how interesting.
And then I understood that there were many lifetimes in this book.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I flipped back to an earlier time in this lifetime.
Ah,
And then I see an aerial, again, it's all image, an aerial image of my dad's backyard in Tucson. I see the pool, I see palm trees and a big planter, and the whole backyard is surrounded by an adobe wall, mesquite trees, and all that's beautiful. A little bit of grass, because why not? And on the grass are all of these folding chairs that are arranged in an arch, and there's some people sitting in them. And I'm like, oh, this is the day that I got married the first
oh,
time.
oh,
And and the image pops off the page again and becomes three-dimensional. So I'm looking at it from an aerial perspective, and then all of a sudden I zoom in and I am in my body from that time. And I'm looking at the guy I'm about to marry and remembering that he's tearful and thinking like, wow, I feel nothing. And I'm remembering that moment of like, I felt nothing at that moment.
ooh, not a good sign.
Yeah, it wasn't a good sign. And then I look out and I see my future sisters-in-law sitting in that front row in their cute dresses. And then all of a sudden, I'm in one of them and I'm witnessing
Whoa.
the wedding from her perspective. And I can feel her genuine excitement about me joining the family and her happiness for what's going on. And the Wendy who's experiencing this is like, oh shit, 7 months from now or whenever, I'm going to be on their shit list. And so that's gonna suck.
Wow.
And then my helping spirit sort of nudges me and says, this is what a life review is like.
After you die?
Uh-huh.
Uh,
That you don't only experience your life from your perspective, but you experience it from the perspective of every person that you encountered. You get to be on the receiving end of you.
wow, that's super interesting because it really does kind of support the idea of everything being one, right? Because
And
that's, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and it's the deepest empathy, right?
Totally. Oh, oh my God, this is so amazing. Yeah.
So
I'm
it
so
was profound for me.
very profound. Yeah. Because it
And
explains so much about oneness and like that everything everywhere all at once, right?
yep, from that perspective, and also what a gift to have this experience before I died, to get that glimpse so I could
Yeah.
try to make some adjustments. And I'm not saying I'm doing a stellar job, but it's always in the back of my mind, whether I'm aware of it or not. I'm going to be in that person's, like, I'll be experiencing Sarah, experiencing me while I'm going through my life review when I do physically die.
Yeah.
And how do I want to experience me from her perspective? Like,
Boy,
what
what
kind
a
of,
bitch she is.
would you
Oh, that
feel me
is
on this? You see what I'm saying?
totally, totally, totally. It's wonderful.
And so no one is judging you except you are assessing your own kind of performance as a human, how you conducted yourself, rather.
That's great.
Yeah, and I thought,
Wow. What a,
people say your life passes before your eyes, but it's not, it sure does. If that
if
perception
that,
is
yeah,
accurate.
yeah. But given that I do believe it is everything everywhere all at once, and this supports that, that
It
understanding.
sure would, yeah.
Yeah. And so I like that it supports it because, often you think you understand something, but again, it's like, am I making this up or is this, so it's wonderful when you have a journey like that that supports it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have
And
been to the Akashic records also with I've never had any great success with anything profound happening there. I've been many times because it's, there's books written about it, so it seems like an important thing. But maybe I didn't allow it to unfold maybe I'll have another journey there and see
yeah,
what.
well, I didn't recall anyone else in my cohort having a similar kind of experience to that. It seemed very specific to me. So, I mean, everybody had the experience they needed to have. For whatever reason, I needed to have that experience of deep empathy.
Yeah.
They talk about how shamanic journeying and spiritual work that leads to direct experience can transform you,
Oh,
that
for
it can.
sure.
Yeah, and that was a good example of
Yeah.
a very, it kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's clear as day still,
Yeah.
that whole experience.
Yeah.
And then I went back into a previous lifetime, the one right before linear time, this one, and got a glimpse of her life. And yeah, it was a really cool, interesting, and obviously life-changing experience.
Yeah. Definitely.
I've always been interested in near-death experiences, and I heard several people talk about their experiences where they got to experience themselves in that way, that they got to experience in their brief life review before they came back. That's how it worked for them, is that they experienced themselves through the eyes of other people that they had encountered. So that was a cool validation too. You were going to tell me another experience you had.
Yeah. And this experience was it was so important to me because it was a healing experience and it was crazy. So also in my 3-year program, we're going to, so back up a bit here. In many shamanic traditions, when the shaman is working with a student, there are initiations that have to be done with the student, some of which are very unpleasant. So this was an initiation that we were doing that was, for some people, very unpleasant, and for other people, not so unpleasant. For me, it was probably one of the most horrifying things I could ever see myself doing. And the experience is called the bound shaman. And in some
It already
traditions,
sounds frightening as hell.
oh, you can't even imagine. And the idea of putting yourself into a position where you are just you've completely lost control of the situation and you're asking the spirits to help you and you're offering up your suffering for the suffering of other people. It's a really incredible initiation. It's not only your suffering, but it's the suffering of all of those in the world. It's kind of like got a bit of a Buddhist feel to it. And
Okay.
so what happens is half the people in the group are the binders, and the other half are being bound. And you you're wrapped in rope,
Sounds
very
kinky.
long. Well, yeah, you're
Just,
wrapped in
I
rope,
know it's inappropriate for me to say that, but I just had to.
and then a blanket is wrapped around you, and then you're
Oh,
continued to be wrapped in rope, but you're also hogtied so that
Jesus.
your wrists and your ankles are tied together. So you're completely bound and you're completely in a blanket. And
Totally vulnerable.
oh, the lead up to this would make me shake, like even thinking like, oh, in X number of weeks we're going to do this thing. And you have the choice not to do it, by the way. It's not like you have to do it. But I wanted to do it, and I had, as a child, I had been abused. And so the idea of this kind of containment of myself, like I didn't think I would be able to do it. And I wanted to, and I kept going back and forth. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then at the end, I said, I'm going to do it. And
It's very brave.
well, it was trusting that I would be okay in this and not completely freak out and, make a big ruckus and disturb everybody else. But anyway, and again, dark, lots of drumming, whole thing like that going on. And so I was bound very, very tightly, and I was trying to hold myself in composure. Like the fact that you're hogtied is a very strange experience. And so I was starting to journey, just spontaneously journey. And one of my spirit guides appeared before me and said, as this was all going on, said to me, you have to know that the ropes around you are just as much of an illusion as the suffering you hold from your abuse.
All right.
It was like so profound. And he said, just let the ropes go. So I don't know if I said this, but the intention of this is that the spirits come and undo the ropes. And ideally. And he said, let them come and take the ropes off and take your suffering off from when you had been a child. And I was crying and crying and crying under the blankets, and I was very, very upset about all of it.
Sure,
And
yeah.
as I was there on the floor in the dark with this going on, I felt the ropes fall off my body. Like literally, like this is miraculous stuff, really. They just loosened and they fell off.
You
And
mean in physical reality they fell off?
physical reality, the ropes fell off my body.
Damn.
It was truly the most miraculous thing I've ever felt in my life. And I just kind of like got up and sat there waiting for the drumming to end. And I thanked the spirit guides for this healing because it was a massive healing, recognizing the illusion of the suffering that I was still holding on to all these years later. And the candle was relit and the lights were dim lights were turned back on. And about half the people were untied and half the people weren't.
Oh,
And
really? So
yeah,
that didn't just happen to you, it happened to some of your colleagues
yes,
too.
yes, about half, as I remember it. I mean, this is many years
Wow.
ago. And I've never felt anything like that, in my life. And what I said in the beginning of our session here today is that, like, where non-ordinary reality and ordinary reality like merge, and you
Mm,
have an experience, that is so profoundly unimaginable. And I'm sure afterwards, when I told people about it, they probably thought, "Oh yeah, the ropes weren't tight," And one of my close friends, Peter, had been the tire of the ropes, and he was like a crazy Boy Scout or something when he was young. And
yeah,
he tied those ropes like you can't even imagine.
yeah.
And I thought, oh my God. But it was just like the feeling, I'll never forget it, of just like, that they just fell off. And
I'm free.
I'm free. I took the blanket off, and that was the end of that. But and and some of the people who fancied themselves to be very highly spiritually gifted people in the group, the ropes were not removed. And it was like, lessons there.
Lesson in humility there, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we all need those.
yeah, yeah. And we did it again several, I don't know, months later. We did that again. We only did it twice in the program. And again, I was released. It was different
Oh,
that
really? Okay,
yeah,
but huh.
both times I was released.
Were you as intimidated by the process the second time?
No,
All right, yeah, that would make sense.
I was not intimidated, and I don't remember. Oh, I do remember what my intention was. The first time my intention was just to get through it and not lose my mind. And the second time my intention was that the releasing of the ropes would be for all people who had suffered abuse as children. I was just giving it out to the world, and that was a beautiful, wonderful feeling. And
I
then when the
bet it
ropes
was.
fell
Yeah.
off again, it was just so powerful, you know? And like, how do you explain stuff like that? People think you're nuts.
I don't think you can.
You can't.
Physically, yeah.
You really can't.
Nope. That is in the realm of miraculous.
Oh, for sure, miraculous. But who gets to experience miracles, Maybe we all do, and we just don't even notice when they're happening.
Well, it makes me wonder as our view of reality has gotten more and more materialistic, if we experienced a lot more miracles our early ancestors did because we were open to those kinds of things than we are now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe we should do an experiment.
What kind of experiment?
I don't know, just invite the miraculous.
Oh, yeah, please. I'll take that. Yeah.
Let's
But then there's also the mindset. Like you experienced a miracle. I can't say I've had any kind of experience like that. I've had some trippy experiences, but I haven't had what I would consider a miraculous experience. And I would think it would come right to my mind if I did. I don't think those just sort of
Yeah, you don't forget those
fade
experiences.
away. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does make me wonder how much our mindsets dictate our experiences. I mean, it kind of ties in all the shit we've been talking about if you think about it. Like the ability to manifest, also you have to have a very open mindset and you have to be able to see beyond the physical to be able to bring something to you. There's no logic to it. It's not an intellectual process.
It's really not.
And yet these things happen, right? And sure, people can just sort of write them off as, oh, that's just a coincidence, or the knots weren't tied tight enough, or they'll come up with some reason. But I like the idea of believing in the possibility of magic.
Yeah. I mean, there's people that study alchemy and, other kinds of magic and witchcraft and like why are we so prone to think, oh, yeah, sure, that happened, I'm sure. I remember when I came home, I was very careful to not tell people
Yeah, I imagine so. You don't
because I
want anybody
thought,
to take that magical experience away from you with
no, and people would try to take it
judgment.
away from
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that it happened probably like 30 some odd years ago, 35 years ago, and I can remember the feeling in my body as the ropes fell off. I can remember the feeling of that spirit guide that stood there. I had two spirit guides. One was called Big G God and Little G God. These were I haven't worked with these spirit guides in years, and I'd almost forgotten them until I'm telling
Huh.
you this story. You'd think I would hang out with Big G God a little more,
Yeah,
right?
they seem that they do some good work. For, they're really helpful.
And I forgot that they were my
Yeah.
spirit guides.
Eh,
Yeah, that's only Big G God.
yeah.
But people who believe in God in the standard way tend to believe in miracles, right? I mean,
I guess you mean religious folks?
yeah, religious
Well,
folks.
I mean, I think in the Bible, I don't. There's a lot of references to miracles,
Yeah,
so I think that's probably part of that worldview.
yeah.
Yeah.
But in our worldview, we are constantly talking about different realities. We're constantly talking about the shifting reality, and so if reality is this kind of slippery, weird place, it does make room for miracles.
Yeah, it probably always has,
Yeah.
but it does make me wonder how much our, let's say, our cultural worldview has been playing a role in what we're experiencing.
Yeah, and the powers that be are not real excited about people knowing how to do miracles, you know? I would
Yeah,
imagine, because that gives you a lot of power,
yeah, and saves a lot of money.
saves a lot of money. Yeah, yeah. I mean, miraculous healing. I mean, that's a big deal, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you hear about them every so often still.
Yeah, yeah. So why don't we do an experiment this week and open ourselves to the miraculous and then report back?
Okay, let's
Should we
do
do
it. Yeah.
that? Game?
Wendy gets an F. On-
There you go
yeah,
again.
it's, come on, that shit's funny.
Well, it's just
It's
funny.
it's
Yes.
funny. It's funny. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, I will open the doors to the miraculous
Yeah.
starting
I
right
have,
now.
I have
Right
a
this moment.
very, me too, pinky shake. I have a very small version of that I do all the time. It's a mantra when I'm feeling a little like about whatever, just not good in myself. I say out loud or in my mind, I invite the universe to surprise me in joyful ways. And it's kind of a miraculous little mantra because the
Yeah.
second you say it, you feel better. So it's already surprising you
Oh
and
yeah, it opens doors. It
it
just
opens doors.
yeah, absolutely it would. That's a great practice.
Yeah, it really helps. I've shared that one with many people over the years, and many people use it as a tool for just like, oh, let's get this off, you know?
All right, say it one more time.
I invite the universe to surprise me in joyful ways.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can invite the universe to show us the miraculous in joyful ways.
Okay.
Has to be in joyful ways because the universe can be tricky like
Oh
that.
yeah, well, yeah. Doesn't mean that miracles are always joyful.
Exactly. Exactly. So we're inviting the universe to what did I say? To open us to the miraculous in joyful ways.
Okay. All right.
Well,
I'm
I'm
gonna write.
excited to see how that goes.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note,
Okay.
let's get cracking on miracle making.
No, we're not miracle making. The universe is miracle
Yeah.
making. We are observing or receiving the miracle,
Right. Well, and we're playing a role in it.
playing a role in it. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Okay, great to see you.
You too, as always.
Bye.